Hey folks, it's Stacy here. Stacy from Homestead on the Hill. And I know I've done this before, but it bears repeating. I'm going to plant a tree today. Actually, I'm going to plant a couple trees. And so here's a little volunteer. What is it? What do you call it? I don't know, a little nut tree. Somebody said a filbert or something like that. Anyway, I got it in a bucket and it's big enough now that I figure it may survive in the wilds. There's an old saying, there's two best times to plant a tree. First time was 20 years ago, and the second best time is today. So seeing as 20 years ago was 20 years ago, here we are today. So I'm gonna plant a tree today. And I've got a little system. Over here you can see this hole I dug. And this ground, it's like digging through concrete. Look at the boulder in there. So you can see that if I were just to put that in there, I'd be able to bury the whole tree and everything. So what I'm going to do instead is that what I do is I put this little pipe like this down. And so I fill the bottom of the hole like this with these rocks. See? And then what I do is I put this down. Let's put that. The difference doesn't make much difference. That way, in the hot summer months, what I do is I pour water down here so the water goes down to the roots of this little fella. So let's get this thing in the ground. What you're doing is training the tree, training the roots to go deep, because that's where the water will be. Okay, here we are. Let's put it in there like that. Bit of it's some homegrown soil, just like that. And then pack that in there like that. This is not how they do it when they're replanting forests. They'd have about 50 trees done in the time that I took to plant this one. What do you think of that? And I'll leave this little hollow around it like this, so that when I water it, it has a little basin for the water to go in. Big bucket of water here. I don't care if some goes on the ground, but getting most of it down the little intravenous. Let that soak in around his feet. So that's it. Quick and simple, an effective way to plant a tree and train it so the roots go deep. So my film crew asked me, why did you dig the hole so deep and then you fill it up with rocks? Well, I'll tell you why. If you put this pipe down into the dirt like that, it's just going to plug the end of it. But if you put it in here like on a rock, the water can get through. So that's why I'm trying to pick round rocks in a pot. These haven't been in pots too long, but I just put it on the side, then roll it, and then just grab it by the stalk, stem, and ease it out. Ease the seat back. Oop, there we go. And with her natural, yeah, there we go. That's a little deep, but so what? You just want to poke it down a little bit around the edges. Are we still on camera? Mm-hmm. I just want to, my granddad said, or my grandpa, he'd say, make it look like it grew there. There you go. Another tree in the ground. What do you think? Should we give it a drink? Should we give it a drink? The thing I do is I take a stake, in this case, piece of rebar and tie a yellow ribbon around it, or orange ribbon. And that way, when I'm mowing or trimming, I'm like, oh, what's that weird thing there? Let me get a hammer and see if I can use this slammer. Okay, can I get it in the straw? You ready? Mm-hmm. Hey, you know, if you stop and think about it, you know that character Johnny Appleseed, won all over the USA planting trees. I guess he was the first of throwing down an invasive species. I guess he's celebrated for that somehow. Interesting. Okay, folks, Stacy from Homestead on the Hill. You all be good, take care of one another. We'll talk again soon.